Hi, today I'm going to be demoing my water drinking application that I built for the Microcomputer Project Laboratory class at MIT, or what we like to call it 6115. So the main premise of this project is that everyone should be drinking water. And what I mean by that is everyone should be drinking enough water every day. There's a lot of studies that show that people are dehydrated often because they don't drink enough water because they're often distracted doing other things throughout their day. This leads to consequences like being constipated, dehydrated, you get lightheaded a lot, you get migraines, and there's a lot of other kind of health consequences to this. So this application is sort of like a reminder to help you drink water throughout the day so that you meet a certain goal. This goal amount of water is calculated based off some inputs. So it's calculated based off your age, your weight, your activity levels, so how many minutes you exercise per day, and also the temperature of the current room that you're in. So how this works is that it basically keeps track of how much water you're drinking per interval, and it checks and determines if you've been drinking enough water by some calculations done on the PSOC. So speaking of the PSOC, let me just go ahead and show you some of the kind of hardware that I use. So let me bring my iPad over here. So over here, we have a water drinking cup. So attached to it is a tilt sensor, this blue one. There's a tilt sensor that just measures if the water cup is tilted or not. There's a water sensor here that measures how much water is in the cup. And this cup is about 5 ounces. So that's going to be the main measuring tool for this system. Over here, we have an IC that's connected to this IC is a 16-key encoder. And so this is connected obviously to a 16-key keypad. So this keypad is used to type in the inputs to kind of the questions that a TFT may kind of ask you. So things like your age, your weight, activity level, again. So this right here is a LED. This yellow LED is connected to the tilt sensor. So every time you're tilted, this LED will flash to give you some visual cue of if you're drinking water or not in the main essence of it. This over here is connected to the tilt sensor. This is connected to the water sensor. Over here, we have the PSOC 5. This is the main processing unit for the system, and it basically records all the water, records the amount of water you're drinking per day, and basically makes calculations to check if you've been drinking enough water or not. Over here, we have a TFT display. This is going to show you the prompts that the TFT will ask you, and it'll also display the amount of water you should be drinking per day and if you're on track to drink it or not. Also, this acts as a notification system to let you know that if you should drink more water if you're doing good. Right here, we have a temperature and humidity sensor, which measures the current temperature and humidity of the room. This is also used to calculate the amount of water you should be drinking per day. Over here, we have a speaker system. So it's a very simple speaker system. We have a speaker over here. We have a low power audio amplifier, which is connected to a potentiometer, which acts as a kind of volume adjustment for the speaker because the speaker can get pretty loud. The speaker will play a really annoying loud noise at you if you don't drink enough water. And it's also connected with the red LED that flashes with the speaker going off. So let me put this back. I'm gonna put the iPad back to where I found it. And let me just get set up and we can go ahead and start a demo. Okay, so coming back, tilt my camera down a bit. So coming back, so I'm gonna start the demo. And what it's going to ask me first is it's going to ask me for my parameters. So it's going to ask me for my age, weight, and activity level. So I can go ahead and use this keypad over here to type in my answers to this. So my age is 21. So I can type in 21. And let's say I added an extra 1 accident. I can easily go ahead and delete it with the asterisk sign, delete. And then once I'm ready to confirm, I can press this pound sign to confirm that this is indeed my age. Currently, the alphabetical numbers don't do anything right now, but I can easily code them to kind of display the prompt that I want to show in case that I make a mistake somewhere down the road in another prompt. So now I can confirm my age, 21, confirm. Now I ask me my weight in pounds. So let's say my weight in pounds is 120. Enter that in. And then I can press, I added an extra 0. Now I can press confirm. My daily exercise amount of minutes. Let's say I exercise 30 minutes a day, which is not necessarily true right now, but usually it is. So I can go ahead and confirm. Awesome. So right now, the temperature is 28 degrees in this room. My goal amount of water that I should be drinking is 100 fluid ounces, which translates to 20 cups, which obviously, because these cups are 5 ounces, that's 20 cups. So the amount to reach right now is 2 cups of water for this current interval. Right now I'm at 0 and the water sensor is pretty low and the tilt sensor is 0 because there's no water in the cup and it's not tilted. So I can go ahead and start pouring some water into the cup. The water sensor won't update until I actually tilt the sensor. So let me tilt it a bit. Let's just get it started. Okay. And now the water sensor will jump up because there's water in the cup now. I can go ahead and pour all this water out. And let me pour it slowly because any leftover water on the water sensor actually gets stuck and it'll increase the water sensor. So if I put this back down, it should increase my cups of water that I drink. So I can do this again. And I can pour more water in here and do it again. Water sensor goes up. Actually, so let me show this right now. Right now, the system is telling me that I should drink more water. So right now, there's a red LED flashing. If I can turn up the volume on the speaker, which is kind of loud, you can hear that it's making a really annoying sound at me to tell me to drink water. So I'm going to turn this back down so that you can hear me again. But it's flashing that I should drink more, so I should drink more water. Right now I'm at 1 cup, so I gotta kind of go fast because the interval is only a minute long. So hopefully that works. And sometimes it takes some time to calibrate just because the water sensor isn't the best. So now that I've drank 2 cups, I'm gonna keep going. Water down. Have it calibrate again. Sometimes I have to wipe it just because if water droplets go up the water sensor, it actually increases. So right now, water sensor is there. And hopefully if I can turn back on the speaker that, oh, I missed the time. I'm just gonna speed this up a bit because I keep missing the interval because it's pretty fast. Okay, so hopefully now that I've sped it up a bit, I can, if I pour the last cup of water to reach the goal, update to say, great job, keep it up. Now that I've reached the goal, the alarm has stopped going off. I'm turning up the volume, there's no sound right now. So I've met the goal. And then if I just leave it on again, it'll probably start beeping at me again. But that's the entire gist of the system. The only other thing that happens is the temperature sensor actually goes off every day per se. For this demo purposes, every time the intervals like get to the end of the interval. So technically I can heat up this temperature humidity sensor and it'll increase the temperature, which again affects the amount of water that I should be drinking per day. And I'm going to try to heat up the temperature humidity sensor so that you can see that the temperature actually changes temperature and increases the goal amount of water. So I have a handy dandy little hair dryer over here that I can go ahead and use to heat up the humidity sensor. This might take a while, so I'm going to cut it again. Okay, so I just went ahead and increased the temperature of the humidity sensor by hair drying it, blowing it. And you can see that the temperature has changed to be hotter. So now it's reading 38 degrees when it first started up the system. And the humidity, which if I can just tilt it down a bit, is reading 16. So because I blew a hair dryer on it, it got hotter and the humidity went up. This means that the goal went up because how I calculated the goal is based off a very equation that I kind of put together. And it basically, the hotter it is, the more water you should be drinking, which is obvious because on a hotter day, you should drink more water to stay more hydrated. So before the goal was 100 fluid ounces, now it's 110 because the temperature has increased by 10 degrees. So that is the entire system. And I hope that you kind of enjoyed it. Thank you.